Today is a good day, and it's the 8th day in October 2023. Welcome to my podcast. My name is Vaso Obasaki, and I'm excited. I'm elated. All the big grammar that you know that relates to excitement. Not particularly because I won a lottery, but I just realized something so grand that that makes me feel good. In hindsight, I feel good about the whole process, and it's just me trying to encourage you that in your own situation, yeah, just look out for the blessings in it. Okay, a while back I traveled. I was in a relationship, and it was a little bit up and down, cold and hot. We had a few differences, and I must say, I don't really want to talk about the relationship because I don't want to do the blame games. But we both worked with the tools that we were given, and that period, I traveled. I met this person. We had a good time. We enjoyed our time together. It was a long distance relationship, and a few days after I traveled out of the state, I went to another state where my sister was. Some things happened to me, and the relationship ended. Now, this period, I was already going through a lot. I had lost my favorite cousin's dad. I had lost a lot of things. I was deep in debt. I had lost my job. I lost visa to travel out of the country after spending a whole lot of money. And I had a fight with my sister. I was so disappointed and broken because none of these people really knew what was going on in my life. So, and then here was I, my relationship, the only thing I could hold on to was going down the gutter. So I tried and tried. I was angry. I was sad. I was just everything in one. I was really bitter. I was tilting towards depression. Actually, I was depressed, trust me. Because looking back, it just felt like there were a whole lot of things that were failing simultaneously. Like everything was just failing. I didn't have one win, not even one. I didn't have one win. The only win I had was my life. Literally, the only win I had was my life. And I was on a journey that evening. In the course of the journey, and these persons didn't really know, I was going through deep emotional stress, deep ones, and I was still sick. I was actually very sick that day. I had food poisoning and I slumped on the road. Someone took me to a hospital, a quack nurse anyways, and it was just terrible. So I decided to go back to my base that period, and through the sickness I had to pull through and get to my destination. Try to talk to my then girlfriend. She had blocked me everywhere. And it was crazy. It was really crazy, and I was trying to ask God what to do, and He was just looking at me like, "This one, you will not hear what." So, in the course of the journey, I'm trying to tell you how tragic everything happened. I was so depressed that in the course of the journey, I was made to drive. I was driving from the north to, I think we're driving from, I drove from Kano to Abuja. Um, so that was like 6 hours. And this was late in the night. Like, this was like 1 a.m. So the road was really free and the road was really smooth. And I was driving. The speedometer wasn't working, but I'm very sure I was driving 160, 180 at night. And because of it, the mind plays funny tricks on you. And my mom was like, if if you just swerved on the road and you guys had an accident, it should just be an accident, it wouldn't be suicide, right? And it's crazy because it was her birthday a few days after. So I really wanted to be there. I really wanted to be there for her. And they broke up and everything. Because if not for the breakup, I would have been in her state, which was very far from me. I would have been in her state and would have spent a lot of time there and, try to get through the whole time and everything together, as lovers do. Hang out, do whatever it is, just to put a smile on her face. So I didn't have that opportunity. That's where I was actually driving at. But I was giving you some small side story. So occasionally, whilst I was driving, I had this crazy thought like, oh, just run off the bridge. Everybody's just going to die. And, it was technically accident. It wasn't suicide. I had to stand my ground. Even if I was depressed, I was emotionally drained, I had to stand my ground. Thanks to God who had helped me in the past. I had to stand my ground, and tell the devil, not today, So, long and short, we got to Abuja. I handed over the keys. The person was like, you don't want to drive. He didn't know what I was running away from. So I still kept trying, reach out to her, and she had blocked me. We went through her friends, and that was even worse. So relationship ended like that, Sha. Few days later, I went to church, all gloomy and everything. But when I got to church, I had to pretend, there was this program going on, and I had to key into the program. And funny enough, the preacher came all the way from the US and spoke to me directly. All the preachers, they spoke to me directly. It was almost like, this thing you are going through, you better get out of it because God has a plan for you. And I'm like, he's been telling me that since I was a year old. Momsy too was like, my mom was like, we did not plan to have you. God just brought you. It means that He has a plan for you. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, are you sure that shouldn't sound disturbing? Like, you put in plan to have me. Like, it should be very disturbing. So, long and short, this event started from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday also, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I can't recall. So by Thursday or Wednesday, I was literally begging for a therapist. Because I just needed to get everything out of my head. I was almost suicidal and everything. I was actually suicidal, but funny thing is, somehow God has a way of holding you down such that even if you try to deviate, His anchor is just there holding you. He said the rod and the staff, they comfort me. I just had that comfort that this is the wrong choice to make. It's not, it might be an option, but it's not the right option. Well, long and short, Sunday came, um, service had ended. I was thinking I was going to see my pastor, but I couldn't see my pastor. So I walked to one of the offices, and on my way back, on my way going, I met a lady sitting down, and she held something. And I was like, "Oh, are you the new security?" She said, "I'm the security chair." And we just talked casually, and I walked away. And coming back, I had to really probe what was really going on, and she said, "Oh, she wanted to present something to someone, to one of the guest ministers, and she didn't have a means of doing that." So we talked casually, and I stood there. I tried to help her find a way to achieve her dreams. In the end, she achieved her purpose of coming. She came all the way from Port Harcourt to do all that. And I was like, "Oh, interesting," So I mean, when that happened, my mind was still drowning in the whole relationship saga, and I was not even in the mood to really talk to anybody or to even see things from any sort of perspective, and we got to talking, exchanged numbers, we talked a lot, and she talked about her relationship and all that. I just gave her some advice. See me that with that I have lost my own. Now me they give her some advice. Gave her some advice and all that, and she went back to Port Harcourt. She called me the next day and was just complaining bitterly, like, "Oh, some people say that she didn't try, that she didn't she just feels disappointed. She feels like she didn't get to achieve her dreams and everything. Blah 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 blah." I'm like, "Oh God, what is this? Me that I'm trying to deal with my matter small. This one is bringing another matter." So in the course of her conversation, and this is how God does to me. He speaks through me to me. So there could be a problem going on, and I would not even ever see how it relates to me. But by the time he starts talking through me, I would now realize that, oh boy, this problem was actually set as a trap for me to enter, so that that he can speak to me, because I'll be running away every time. So she talked, she complained, she said everything, and actually, to be frank with you, I was very instrumental to her achieving the purpose of giving the gift to the guest minister. But I didn't even see it that way, I encouraged her and everything, told her what to do and all that. But I didn't see it that way. To be really frank with you, I didn't see it that way. I was just doing what I felt was right, to help someone achieve what they wanted, and if you know me very well, you know that I hate to take credit for things done. I hate to take credit, and when she told her people, she didn't mention my name. I was like, "Oh, awesome." She didn't mention my name. I was like, "Oh, okay, cool," and in the course of our conversation, she was bitter. She was complaining that she felt that even if they had taken a picture, because she couldn't take a picture with the guest minister, they didn't really pray that much for her, and this is another lesson that I would like you guys to understand. Let me talk about it. So he just told her, "Oh, I love this. My wife really loved this, and God bless you. Thank you for this and everything," and he told someone to give him his phone, take a picture of the frame and everything. Because the frame, actually, very beautiful frame. I really love the film. So when she started complaining, God took my attention back to that scenery, the whole scene, and reminded me that look, you had a broken relationship. You had a terrible week. You came all the way from the north just to be here this Sunday to help this young lady present this item to this guest minister. He told me to talk to her about it. So as he was telling me, as he was showing me, I was talking about it. I told her, look, you are very ungrateful because God pulled me out of somewhere, made me have a broken relationship, made me fight with my sister, made me have a terrible journey, held my hands from swerving off the road so I don't kill myself, so I can come and achieve this purpose. And you are here still complaining? When I was done talking about it, I was shocked because I never saw it that way, like me having to be instrumental to whatever it is. Even when I was going through hell and high waters. Yeah, I didn't tell you that one of the reasons why I came back to my base was because I was really broke and I needed to sell off an item in the house and the person was waiting for me. So that's how bad it was. And I was shocked, but I didn't show my shock during the conversation. And I tried to tell her that lack of gratitude is when you allow negative talk. You have achieved the purpose. You've achieved your aim. Even if it didn't go your way, it went in a different way. But the fact remains that this person had seen what you wanted them to see. Whether it gets to them 10 years time, 5 years time, that's none of your business. Yes, you spent so much money trying to do these things. And then that was when she opened up and she was like, yes, I'm right. I said, no, it's not me, it's God that's telling you, don't even call me right. And that's how, she said, even the money for the job, it mysteriously came, things happened, a lot of mess up, a lot of things would have messed it up, but somehow, God just kept opening ways for her, opening doors for her, and she was able to, in fact, she didn't even have somebody in Lagos at the time, but somehow God provided someone. And I just looked at her and I'm like, you ungrateful soul. She said, no, she's not ungrateful. She just allowed negativity get to her, and like, you shouldn't let negativity get to you. And see me that I'm talking, I have been the way God has a crazy sense of humor. He's using me that has not healed to heal somebody to heal somebody else, and thereby getting my own healing. Like, you're so ungrateful. You're so ungrateful, because if God had opened this door for you, what if you took pictures with these persons? What if that was where it was going to end? What if after that picture everything ended there? Or what if God had a better plan such that He made this man of God appreciate what you have? Alright, so I tried to remind her. I said, look, I told her a story about my mom so many years ago. She sat down, this was like 1996, 97. She told us a gist. She was just, when the whole miracle came, she told us. She said she sat down outside. I think I remember the day she was outside. Came outside and went back into the house, went north. And she said she was just murmuring in her mind, and look, see her shoe is going bad. This is the only shoe she has. She doesn't have money and all that. And I think a day or two after, somebody called her. I was like, oh, Mama, sorry, I wanted to try and reach you, but I've been trying to reach you, but I don't have a way of reaching you. I've not been around, but I have something to give you. I'll send somebody to give it to you. She's like, okay, whatever it is. And then the person brought her two sets of brand new shoes. She didn't tell God. She didn't ask God. She was just complaining to herself. And also reminded her about the woman with the issue of blood in the Bible, that Jesus did not authorize the miracle. The lady took the miracle. She grabbed it because she used a formula of faith to grab that miracle. And I reminded her, I said, look, the man appreciated it. And once a man of God appreciates something, there are angels at their beck and call that stands at alert to give you a blessing commensurate to the gift you gave, and most times 10 times more. You don't have to exhibit, you don't have to show off. It doesn't have to say, kneel down, my daughter, let me pray for you, and pour all the blessings in this world on your head. The fact that he appreciated what you gave speaks volumes, and that on its own is a prayer from his heart, from the depth of his heart. It's a prayer. And I told her, I said, Haman prayed for me from his heart. He did not see it. What am I trying to say in a nutshell? God can use your brokenness. God can use your sadness. God can break things. Make people break up. Look at me now. Make people break up. God can make people miss their flights. God can make people die just to achieve your goal, your purpose. Yes, he can. And I'm not saying that he will just pull off. Of course, my relationship had issues, and we've had back and forth a lot of times. And even if I really wished it worked out, even to now, because after then I had to make a lot of changes. I did some reformation and all that transformation based on what the issue was. But what I'm saying is, God will do anything. He will do anything, absolutely anything, just to make sure that you get your dreams and your purpose achieved. So if you keep murmuring, if you keep complaining, if you keep feeling sad that things didn't go out the way you wanted it to go, you will be losing out on the blessing that he's planned for you. See me praying and telling God to help me fix that relationship that time, and see what God was trying to use me to do. And now look at it, by extension, you are listening to this podcast today, and it's encouraging you. Just imagine the breakup never happened. Just imagine I went for the birthday. Just imagine I didn't come back to Lagos that period. Just imagine a lot of things. You wouldn't listen to this to encourage you that whatever you're going through, God is sending somebody. He is pulling somebody out of their comfort zone to make sure that you achieve your purpose. To make sure you achieve your purpose. Don't let the negative thoughts, the seemingly failed attempts at certain things hold you back from seeing that God is pulling you back, holding you back from failing. I sat myself down one day and I said, there are things that happen to people on a regular and it doesn't happen to me. There are places I go that I get access to. I get those things. I get those things without even having to beg or ask. And some people will still want to get those same things, and they would beg, they would ask, they will pass through heavy protocol, Heavy protocol. It's called favor. It's called favor. So if God's favor is on your life, trust me, all your complaints, they will be annoying to him, because he knows what he is doing. He knows how he wants you to achieve your goals. All you need to do is to put the plan, write the vision, make it plain, so that the person that is running with you will run it and will not fail, run with it and will not fail. This person, look at Apple today. Steve wrote down his vision. Look at Microsoft. What's his name? He wrote down his vision. Look at Tesla. He wrote down his vision. Look at Twitter. The owner, Jack was the owner of Twitter. He wrote down his vision, and it's being run today seamlessly as one of the best social media platforms on the earth. One of, I didn't say it's the best, but one of the best. So what is that thing that you are killing yourself about? I, for one, have hands up since long time ago and told God, look, whatever you want to do, and you're concerned or you not concern me, it's not my problem. Just do what you want to do. Don't let me die before you do what you want to do. I'm human, and sometimes these things get to me, but in the long run, there's this favor I have with God that no matter how bad it seems, no matter how difficult it seems, God will always come through, and he would always find a way of rescue for me. And I want you to accept that, and I want you to see that. I want you to acknowledge that. I want you to run with it, because right now I'm not feeling so bad about the fact that I had to go through all that traumatic experience. Even if I did go through the traumatic experience and it's long gone, but I am appreciative, because thinking back, I had to think back and I had to think deep before I was able to make this podcast, because this had happened a while ago. Thinking back about the whole thing, I now see that my pain served a purpose. My trauma served a purpose for someone. My pain, the heartache I went through served a purpose, and I'm grateful rather than being ungrateful. I'm grateful that I was a tool. I'm grateful that I was instrumental. I'm grateful that I was even being used at any point as a tool, as a means of comfort to someone, even if I didn't know this person from Adam. I was being used as a tool. I feel excited. I feel like shedding tears of joy, thinking back at these things. And there are so many other stories that have happened that I might not be able to remember now, but when I remember them, and these are not mere stories, these are my realities, when I remember them, I'm definitely going to share with you guys. But I just want you to know that no matter what you're going through, just go through it. When you come out of it, you realize that it was a good process. It helped you. It helped you to process your pain. It helped you to process the sadness. The brokenness would serve a purpose. Your brokenness will serve a purpose, provided you are unshaken, provided you are anti-fragile. I was not anti-fragile at some point, but I had to become anti-fragile. Okay, have a wonderful day. It's a Sunday, and I hope you went to church. Have a wonderful Sunday. I love you, but God loves you exceedingly, abundantly, and you're phenomenal. Thanks, Okocha, Charles Okocha. You are phenomenal. You are intensely phenomenal. Have a lovely day. I love you.